Hi everyone, good morning. So today's session is a day 3. Okay, in yesterday's session we discussed about why we need to choose a Spring framework and what are the advantages of using and which type of applications we can develop. In yesterday's session we discussed. So and whoever joined today's session, day 1 and day 2 videos are available in our channel, Express channel. Here if you click the playlist, this is about a course introduction, and this is about the why Spring framework. We in the last session we discussed these two videos are available here itself only, guys. Okay, whoever done enrollment, guys, our team already sent an email to join our Telegram group and further updates. If you are not yet received any email after your payment, also drop email one more time. By today end of the day they will try to close all the registrations, guys. So today is the last day for attending demo sessions. Okay, hope you guys are clear. If you have any questions, just ping to like in the admin team, or you can drop an email also. Else you can join here. You will get all the updates in the Telegram group also, guys. Okay. Yeah, let me start it. So yeah, today we will see what is inversion of control and dependency injection, and what are the types of injections we have, and we already gone through what is an IOC. Let me recap, and then today we'll go for the live coding part. We'll try to create some couple of examples, okay, based on IOC container, Spring Bean. Last session we discussed difference between the Pojo, Spring Bean and Java Bean also, right? And we'll try to write couple of examples today session. Okay, now let me recap it here. What is IOC container? Okay, IOC container is nothing but inversion of control. Okay, basically instead of we are giving control to the container. Hey, please go and create the object here. So what container will do? Container will generating the objects. If you give an input, it will generating the objects and giving to the programmer. By default, Spring IOC container or Spring context managing the singleton object here. What are the primary functions of IOC container? It is managing the object, and as well as it will be inject the dependency injection here. Dependency is nothing but like a helper objects here. So this is all about IOC container. In the last session we already discussed these points. Just I am recapping for 5 minutes and then we'll start into our main topic. So as we told, we have a IOC containers of type as a bean factory, application context and web application context. So bean factory is completely deprecated right now for the small scale applications people used to follow. But in the latest versions, this completely XML bean factory is completely deprecated here. It's no longer available. Even if you try to use, it will show you as a deprecated here. Now, application context has implementation classes are available. What are the implementation classes? If you want to launch IOC container, if you want to launch Spring context, either we have this is a interface. Implementations are file system, class path and annotation driven component. So the recommended approach people used to take as a, if you are creating standalone application, people used to use as a annotation config application context. Why we are not using XML means, again you need to create a XML file. In a XML file you need to define the Spring Beans. In the last session we discussed about what is a Spring Bean, right? So completely we need to overcome out the XML, and I need to go for the Java based configuration here. If you are developing MVC based applications, okay, model view, then we will be get any web application development annotation config web application context. The only the difference here, there is no web here. Here the web application context and XML web application context here. So this is the IOC container here. Okay, now what is a Spring Bean? Okay, any normal Java class is initialized by IOC container. IOC container is nothing but as a Spring Bean. Your container will manage when your bean is started, when the bean is destroyed, and what kind of scopes will have. Everything will be taken care by your IOC container here. Now, how you need to declare the bean? How many ways we have options to declare a bean here? See here, if you want to declare a bean, okay, we have a option called @bean annotation. If I want to define a employee class, address class, customer class, if you want to create a object by IOC, we need to annotate with @bean annotation, @bean annotation, or annotate a class with @component annotation. Here we have three ways we have to define a bean here. The first approach is Java based configuration. Second approach is XML based configuration, and third approach is annotation driven component. This is the recommended approach. Okay, when you are even though you are using recommended approach, sometimes for some use cases, when later on when we will discuss advanced level, we need to follow Java based configuration and annotation driven configuration also. So when you are learning the Spring Boot, this annotation driven component is taken care by completely Spring Boot. But when you are learning the Spring framework, as a developer, you need to take care about this annotation driven component is nothing but you need to take care about IOC container object creation. Okay, so here we need to declare a bean. So what we can start quickly, we will create a small application and we'll try to deploy. I mean to say, we'll try to write a using Java based configuration, using annotation driven component also. I will explain with a couple of examples so that you can be familiar with the examples how we can do Spring framework without Spring Boot. I must explaining, guys. Once you know about the Spring framework, the Spring Boot concept is very easy. You no need to follow these all the options, everything taken care by your framework itself only. Okay, can we start live coding, guys? Before going to start, if anyone has a questions, please drop in the message in the chat box quickly. Can I see acknowledgement in the chat box, please? Okay, thank you. Now have a look. If you want to start with the Spring application, if you want to create any Spring application, now they are providing start.spring.io. This is the website. This is called as a Spring initializer. We can call as a Spring initializer here. Now previously we don't have any Spring Boot. Then to create the project is very difficult task. So when Spring Boot is a popular, based on Spring Boot, even we can create Spring based applications without having the functionality of the Spring Boot also. So this is the best approach, okay, where you can create the project also. Okay, now as part of my project, I am using as a Maven is a build management tool. We have a Gradle and using Groovy language and Kotlin language also. Right now we are choosing Maven is nothing but pom.xml file, and I am using the Java version. Here Spring Boot version I am choosing 2.7.7. It is a stable version. In some different features we have that later on we will have a look that part. Right now we are going for 2.7.7. and project metadata. For every project you need to take care some website group ID and artifact ID also. Group ID is nothing but a unique company name, base name, If you are working some company like a IBM, com.ibm, suppose Spring frameworks they are following org.spring framework, like that is the group. In the same structure, for us also, we want to follow com.java express. This is my group ID. And artifact ID, as part of our classes, we will be create so many number of projects in the classroom. So I want to make it as a very unique how many projects we created. So I want to follow some kind of a numbering 00 hyphen and here JE hyphen. Now let me, J is nothing but Java Express, and I'm taking as a Spring example. Just I'm taking as a Spring example hyphen Java based. Now this is nothing but my project name. This is my project name. Now we are following Java based configuration, so that's why I'm using as a Java based. When you convert an application to annotation, we will try to change with annotation based development like this, so that you will easily understand. Now I am using as a packaging as a jar. I want to use JDK version as a 17, or if you want, just you can use Java 8 or Java 11 also. What we can do, let me choose the Java 11 here, and here click generate here. Okay, so what it will do, it will be download as a project in your local system. Now see, this is a zip file. So what you need to do, right click and just extract this folder, extract here. So now this is your project. See, this is your project. See here, src pom.xml, and by default .ignore is available. Now you need to import this project into your workspace. How you can import? Okay, hope everyone is completed about, I mean to say, STS installation step, as I given in the last session a video link to everyone. Okay, now what I can do, I am choosing STS toolshoot. This is the icon. Okay, now let me open. For the very first time it will take some time to open. Second time onwards it will be a very fast here. Okay, now here what I'm doing, I want to choose one new workspace. Throughout our sessions, complete our sessions, what we can do, we will be trying to create as a new workspace. 22 I am creating here. What we can take, I am taking one workspace here, guys. Now what I can take, Spring like workspace underscore 22. Okay, just I'm taking 22 workspace. I'm just take, this is my folder name. Now click and select folder here. So all our sessions, all our classes and source code, everything available under one workspace only. Okay, and click launch. Once it is generated, it is taking time, I think. Let it be. Okay, hope everyone done about installation in your local system. Am I true? Can I see in the chat box your confirmation who are all done? Yes. Now see, now this is our STS workspace here. Now whatever you downloaded the project, I want to import that project here. File and click import. And where is this is which type of project? Maven project. Then you can type as a Maven. If it is a Gradle project, then you can type as a Gradle. If it is a normal project, simple object, then you can use as a some existing project. You can use it here under the general category. See existing projects into workspace. But our project is a Maven. Choose the existing Maven project. This option you can choose. Click the next option, and here the root directory, where is your project? Click browse option, and where is our project? Go to downloads folder. Here this is our project is available. Choose, click select folder, so automatically your pom.xml file will be visible to you. Click finish. So for the first time, it will take some time to download the dependencies in the Maven repository. Just let it be download for all the jar files here. Only first time it will take some time, later on time it will be a very fast for you guys. As I already downloaded the version, now this is a project here. See, I'm using Java 11. Now here immediately, now I feel our package name is very long. I want to into made it as a com.java express I want to use. Now what you need to do here, right click on the workspace, and there is a rename option is available. Refactor, choose the rename, and I don't want to use this much package name, just I want to make it very simplify. I want to use com.java express. Click OK. Yes, I will explain one more time, don't worry. Anyway, we need to create 2 to 3 projects, so I will explain. Okay, I think it is updating my package. Let it be. Oh, checking the conditions, click continue. You also follow the same structure, and when you open, you have a application.java here. Just blindly delete this file. I don't want this application.java, just to remove. Now this is normal, just an application, Spring application. We have a dependencies, later we will be discuss. Now first what I want to do, I want to create as a first test class. I'm creating one test class here. Let me make it public static void main. Okay, now if you want to define, now suppose let me create as a, okay, let me increase the font size for you. Now this is a simple test class, this is a main method. Now what are the steps you need to take care? The first step is we need to launch IOC container, or okay, context we can call. Second things we need to take care, okay, we need to provide the information. Okay, IOC container, your IOC container, what are the things need to take care? Suppose now I have a some kind of a class I am creating as a new package. Let me take as a class. Here I have some kind of a Pojo class, kind of a account details. This is one Java class here. Click finish. Now this is simple normal Pojo class here. This is simple normal Pojo class here. Now here I want to add some couple of attributes. Private string account ID. Okay, private string string account name, or you can say as a customer name. Let me take as a customer name, and a private string address. I want to the location. I want to say instead of address, let me make it as a location. String P used to call as address, right? Just address, that is sufficient. Now I have a three variables I have. Now here, now what I am doing, if you want to access these variables, you need the setter methods and getter methods is required. Now click on the file and go to source, generate setter and getter methods. Choose the selector option and generate it here. Done. Your step is, first step is completed. This is a normal Java class. Normal Java is nothing but, if you try to use serializable constructor everything, we can call as a Java bean here. If you want to convert this account details object into a Spring bean, okay, you need to convert into a Spring bean, you need to use one annotation called @bean annotation. That is nothing but Java based configuration. Now to launch @bean, first I need to launch our IOC container object. How to launch? What is the interface we have? Application context interface. See here, you will get an auto suggestion, org.springframework.context. This is a interface. What is the implementation class? This for application context is annotation. See, annotation config. Okay, let me make it annotation config application context. Here are able to see annotation config application context. Here you need to provide a configuration class. Now I want to create some configuration class as a customer bean config dot class. Just I want to create my own customer config class. Now let me create it here. Okay, like just a copy class name, and here right click file class customer bean config class. Now if I want to provide a instructions to IOC container, hey, please go and create my account details object. So you need to provide a instructions. Those all the instructions I am providing into a customer bean config class. Customer bean config class. When you go to customer bean config class, if you want to load this class as IOC container, you need to apply annotation at the rate configuration annotation on top of your class. Then IOC container, while launching your container, it will go and okay run this customer bean config class. Now it will be verify, do I have any spring beans available or not? It will be verify. If you want to verify as a spring bean, okay, you need to apply at the rate bean annotation, where you need to apply basically at the rate bean annotation. We can okay use at method level. This is a method level annotation. Now suppose have a look here, public. Now which is the object? Account details object. Now get instance, get instance here. Now what I'm doing, return new account details object. Just I want to create, instead of account details, let me make it as a simplicity account details. This is the method. Now this method invoked by your IOC container. I don't want to use this method by myself. So if IOC container want to manage this method, you need to apply at the rate bean annotation here. That's it. Now when you are starting your application, now your context object, it will run your bean class. In the bean class, we need to provide instructions like configure the things. What are the configure the things? We want to manage. We want to manage spring. Okay, we want to uh, what we can say. We want spring to manage. Okay, where we need to provide using at the rate configuration and at the rate bean annotation we given as part of your bean class. That step is completed here. Now I want to know who will call this method. At the rate bean method here, this method need to call by your what we can say IOC container. Now have a look. Just let me make some default constructor here. Just have a look here, account details. Let me write as a default constructor here, system.out.println account details default constructor is invoked. Just I'm writing some account details here. Now go to your test class and just I'm running this application. Right click, run as Java application. Run Java application. Now see here, account details default constructor is invoked. You can create any number of spring beans. Now let me create as a another bean. Now let me make it as a employee. Just I'm creating some employee class here. Also as of now keep some default constructor. See here, system.out.println employee constructor here. Now go to your bean class. Now how we created the same structure, copy, also we can create your by own public. Now my return type is employee and employee object. return new employee here. Now at the rate bean annotation here. That's it. Now if you have a 10 objects, you need to define 10 methods at the rate bean method. This is a Java based configuration here. Now see here, right click, run as Java application. Right now I'm not discussing any at the rate component. Later I will be discuss that part. Okay, those are stereotype annotations. We will be discuss those all the points. Okay, now when you run this application, see, account details default constructor is invoked and employee constructor. So two Pojo classes construct. That means we need to say, see here, indirectly whenever you are running the application, your Spring framework maintaining singleton bean, are able to see singleton bean, customer bean config, account details and employee object. See now how many beans it is created as of now. Apart, these are all your custom beans. Customer bean config, account details and employee. Apart from that, to launch our application, it is creating, see, a common annotation processor, audit annotation process. These are all kind of a specific to framework. So it is creating so many singleton objects as part of your project. In our use case right now, we have in the bean class, I have a, these two classes are available. Now you created the reference. Even if you observe that while creating an object, you need the reference. Now see, it is using one reference called customer bean config, account details, employee, where you are getting what are the method names you are using. Suppose here account details you are using, like see here, account object. Just I am writing for your simplicity. It will be used as a account object here. So when you are running this application, here, what will happen? Let me draw a small diagram so that you will get a better idea. Now this is your JVM. This is your Java virtual machine. Okay, and inside a Java virtual machine, one IOC container is launched here. Now this is a JVM. This is a JVM. Now here inside a JVM, you can launch any number of IOC containers. Now this is IOC container. Inside an IOC container, it is created two objects. One object is account details, another object is employee object. Now this is a reference. What is the reference? Is in our use case, account object is the reference. It is created, and the another one is called as a employee. So two objects are created in IOC container. It is created. Then how to retrieve the information? I want to retrieve the bean information. This is Spring bean information. How you can retrieve it? Now go to your test.java. First step is, second step, these two things are done, first and second combination. Now I need to follow the third one as a, you need to retrieve the beans managed by the Spring. Now you have a specific, let me remove this diagram. Now see here, system.out.println context dot, we have a method called here. See, in the Spring IOC container, if you use the context object, we have so many, okay, like so many number of methods are available. If you want to see what is the bean definition count, it will be how many number of beans is created when you run this application. Now see here, right click, run as Spring Java application. Now see, overall 8 beans are overall as part of this application, 8 I mean singleton objects are created. Singleton objects are created. In our use case, we have only these 3 classes, but apart from that, it need other classes also that will taken care by our Spring framework here. Now you need the specific information. What information? Context dot get bean, and what is the name of your bean? No, you need to provide. Now inside your customer bean, okay, the reference will be your method name, or able to, this is the method name, it will be used by default. This is the method name for you. Just copy here, right click and copy, and go to your test class and provide here. See, account object. Now I, in the account details, I don't have a toString method. Let me override. Okay, source toString method and generate. As of now, I don't have any data. I know, but when you run this account bean, you should get null values. As of now, I didn't provided any input values here. Now just run this application. Run as Java application. Now just you can observe the logs. Now see here, account details, ID null, customer name is null, address is null here. Up to now, these steps, are you guys clear? We need to discuss a lot also. I know in your mind we have other annotations also. I will be discussed soon. First, is this clear, this approach? Yeah, someone asking how to import. Go to the file. There is a import, type here Maven project. Here you have existing Maven project. Choose the next option, and there is a root directory. Click browse, and here go to your directory downloads folder. This is your project. If you click select folder, you will get the suggestion. Already this project is imported. If you are trying to import, it is saying that this is already available. See, is already imported into workspace. This is the option. Then you choose the finish. Guys, are you guys clear about these 3 lines of code? Launching the IOC container, and I am giving instruction to IOC container, my bean configuration, account details, one bean class, employee, one bean class. I am giving instructions to at a configuration level at the rate bean method. Are you guys clear? Yes, I will get it. I will explain you those points. First, what I write then is this clear? Now you should have only one configuration class, Prakash. You can create multiple also, but in the future we will not try to use these configuration classes. Exactly, you need to watch to get an idea for the first time. Now suppose now let me go to your test.java. This is a customer account object we have. Now just try to use the copy, and let me paste it here. Okay, yes, we can create. Now right click, run as Spring Boot up. Sorry, not bad. I want to run as a Java application. Okay, already it is run, that's fine. Run as Java application. Now account details, account ID. Now if you run multiple times also, by default you will get only one reference. Why? Because it is maintaining singleton object. If you want to create multiple, we need to change the scopes. That is later we can discuss. Now just have a look here. Right now this is a normal account object. Now if you see customer bean class, this is one object here. Copy, and I want to manage. Yes, we can create, Sunil. Account details here. What I am doing, let me make it as a account details. Okay, I want to provide some information. Account details, we have some data I want to provide. Go to your account details. I want to provide a constructor here. Have a look here. Source, and here we have a constructor. Right now the values are printing the null values, right? I don't want to display the null values. I want to provide the info here, account details. Now see here. Now where is that bean class? Now what I am doing, account details object, right? Now here see, right click, I want to provide the constructor. Now first ID will be suppose 504 and a customer name is okay, just let me provide the Ramesh, and location let me provide the Hyderabad. Now what is the reference of the account details? Here this is the account object, this is account details. Just copy, go to your test.java, instead of the account object just try to give account details here, account details here. See account object, it here it will be verify this name, and whatever you defined these method names should be match. If there is no matching, you will get exception. Which type of exception I will explain. First, right click, run as Java application. Now see here, overall see 9 singleton objects, account details, account ID, customer name, address. Now account ID 504 Ramesh and address is Hyderabad. Now the data is printed. Suppose by mistake if you give an invalid bean name, now details one bean is not available inside your IOC container. Now right click, run as Java application. Now you will get one exception saying that see no bean named account details one available. This is the exception we are getting here. This is about okay, how you can manage at the rate bean. Suppose assume that in when you talk about a project, you may have n number of classes, suppose 10 to 20 classes or 30 to 50, but it is very difficult to manage, very difficult to manage, okay, to write at the rate bean on each and every method. If you have a 20 classes, 20 times you need to write this method, you need to replicate it here, you need to write it. So it is very difficult task to do this action. So to solve this problem, we have another concept called annotation driven component. Annotation levels we will be used. So you no need to worry about to write at the rate bean in this structure. We can completely remove this piece of code by introducing a concept called annotation driven component. This is the recommended approach. You can do n multiple times, I mean you can do lot of configurations using this approach, single class, 2 times, 3 times, you can do lot of things, but the recommended approach people used to follow is a annotation driven component. Even we are highlighting mainly programs on in this annotation driven level only. First, are you guys clear what are the steps we written here? Slowly you will understand whatever questions you are asking. Slowly we will be discuss all the points. First, as part of the beginner level, you should have an idea how to define a bean, how to launch the context object, how to utilize the container, and how to retrieve the beans. Now someone asking like, hi, right now you are using this is the method name, but I don't want to use the method name, I want to use by my own name. If you have, see here we have an option called, let me copy and paste it here. Now here I need to provide a name, I want to provide like AC, just I am providing. The method name should be unique, so let me take as a account object one, let me choose it like this. See my, when you are using, see in IOC container it will be create a reference of a type as AC here, AC. Now go to your test.java, okay, and let me revert it back. If you run this application, you will get exception about it in this place. No, already we have that reference, right? Now make it as AC here, you will get the reference. Now right click, run as Java application. Now see here 90. Now assume that you don't want to create as a another method, just remove this method, just I'm removing. Okay, now here you can define name equal to AC. That's it. If you are trying to get data from this method name, see, copy, go to your test.java and try to share this information. If you run here, you will get, okay, this account object is not available. See here, exception in a thread main, no such bean definition, account object is available. Account object is available here. Now see what is the reference it is created. Are you able to see? Customer bean config, AC, account details, employee details. These are the names it is following. If you need the customization, just at the rate bean, you can apply name equal to here your customized name, you can provide it here. In this way you can create any number of bean classes here. Now why I'm explaining this concept, when you are learning the Spring Boot, sometimes we need to create our custom objects, third party classes, suppose REST template, security related classes, and any Swagger related classes. In that use case we need to handle, okay, there we will be use the importance of at the rate bean here. But as part of our project development, our daily sessions, mostly we will go for annotation driven level. Okay, this is the first example. Okay, we are using with Java based configuration here. Java based configuration here. Okay, now the same example I want to convert into another level called annotation driven component. Okay, now the lines of code, everything will be reduced here. Now see here, let me close everything, and here I want to clone this project. Now right click, copy, okay, and just paste it here. Okay, and here I want to provide my application name as 01. Okay, here instead Java based, let me write as a annotation based. Just I'm written, this is my project name. Just copy this project name also, guys. Copy and click copy here. Yes, new project is created. Same piece of code I want to manage with the help of the, okay, with the help of, I mean to say, annotation level I want to manage. Now see here, now what I am trying to do, go to your pom.xml. Now here you try to change your artifact id. Now we copied, but pom.xml both are same. Just I want to replace with your application name. Now this is your project name. Now let me close my pom.xml, go to src, and here we have. Now for the same class, account details I have. Okay, now when you are following annotation driven level, here if you see, to declare a bean, we need to annotate a method with at the rate bean. Just now we saw this example, and we have another called at the rate component annotation. We have at the rate component. We have other stereotype annotations. In this stage, try to understand only component level. What you need to do, no, now just remove everything here. Just I'm removing, just simply I'm removing here. Okay, now what are the things? Now go to your employee here, at the rate component annotation. Just you need to apply annotation, that's it. At the rate component, copy, and go to your account details, at the rate comp. Two annotations are done. Now here let me, okay, let me run this application. We'll see test.java, right click, run as Java application. Now what exception we are getting? Now see here, no being named account object available. That means by default, when you are running IOC container, Spring IOC container will create your class name as a reference name. Now the reference name as a, see here, just observe here, what at the rate component here. Do I have any bean names? I don't have. See here, annotation only customer bean is there. At the rate component is not at generated at the bean level. Okay, to do this action you need to do a kind of a component scanning at the rate. See here, at the rate, there is a component scanning. Here you need to provide your bean classes. See, base package classes here. Let me provide here account details dot class. Now at the runtime your container will create a bean for account details for you. Now see here, let me run test.java, run as Java application. Now still see, is it created? Are able to see account details. If you given one class, it is trying to create employee account details. See, is created, but you are trying to invoke with account object. But what the IOC container reference name account details, copy, paste it here. And what is employee? Just make it here employee. These two references. Right click, run as Java application. Now see here, account details default constructor is invoked, employee constructor is invoked, and then when you are trying to print account details you are getting null values. And employee, I don't have a toString method, some hash code is printed here. Are able to see hash code. Now copy the employee and let me paste it one more time. Right click, run as Java application. Now I am trying to retrieve the bean information by using, okay, two times employee. Are able to see here hash code is same. That means in IOC container it is managing, okay, singleton object. You can run 100 times also, you will get a single object here, that is a singleton class. So by default that is the scope available in the Spring framework here. I don't want to create multiple objects. Now see employee here. Now what are the steps we done? In the bean class I applied component scanning here. The recommended approach we should not write in this structure. Now in your project you may have so many number of bean classes, but is very difficult to manage account details comma employee comma. It's a very difficult task. So to solve this problem they are come up with a package level. See, at the rate component scan, here we have some methods called base packages. Are you able to see base packages? Here you need to provide your package name, which classes I want to invoke, com.java express. Now under this package it will be scan all the classes which are annotated with at the rate component. Here at the rate configure, these are all kind of a Spring annotations here. These annotations are used to declare a bean. As of now here we are using at the rate component, but when you go for the later on sessions you will see some kind of a what are the annotations you mean. These are all kind of a stereotype annotation. At the rate component, at the rate configuration, at the rate service, okay, at the rate repository, at the rate controller, at the rate rest controller. We have a lot of stereotype annotations. You can use any annotation, it will create a bean object for you. That is taken care by your IOC container. In which use case which annotation we need to use, that is later on we will be discuss as part of our controller service DAO database. Then we will be learn all these annotations. Right now as a beginner level we are discussing only at the rate component. To launch our IOC context I am using at the rate configuration. These are the standards we need to follow in this approach here. This is the second approach, okay, while creating your, okay, using, I mean to say, using annotation driven component here. Annotation driven component. Suppose I want to use a different name for employee. I want to use a different name. How to use here? You need to use nothing but alias name. See here, I want to use EMP as a shortcut. That's it. No, I think it's not required. Alias name. That's it. Now, if you run this application, you will get an exception. Employee reference is not available. See, you will get an exception called no such bean definition exception. See, employee, but what is the reference name? EMP. So people also used to follow as a default naming conventions. We no need to use as a customized single bean names. Okay, alias, see, EMP and EMP here. Just I am trying to print. Right click Java application. See, you are getting the two references here. Now I want to check this employee and this employee is the same object or different objects. Now see here, as of now I am printing system.out.println. Now just remove these two lines. Let me comment it, these two lines. Now just have a verify. Now context dot get bean of reference as employee. Okay, and here what is your return type? Okay, control 1. Here if you use automatically, it is a typecasted to the object. Now what is your typecasted object? Employee object. Employee. Now assume that EMP1. Now it is a trying to typecast. Now what you can do, add cast to employee. This is called typecasting. Core Java. This is completely a core Java, guys. Typecasting an object. Okay, now this is one employee reference. Now copy and let me use another reference, EMP2. Now here see system.out.println EMP1 double equal to EMP2. Now just run here, run as Spring application. See, true. That means these two objects are same. Reference is different, but container level your object is same. So in this way, you can able to prove it is creating singleton object. We can create the scopes also. That is later on time we will be discuss. Now this is the approach here, and here context dot get, and if you see here lot of other names like a bean name, string, definition, count. What are the bean definitions you have? You will get an array, and other means provider, bean type. Yeah, that's it. As of now this is sufficient right now using this object here. This is by using annotation based level. In this structure you can do XML also, but nowadays no one is using XML based approach, so that's why I'm not explaining XML based approach. Still, if you want to see, if you wanna need how XML also will look like, I can explain you in the tomorrow session if really required. So that's all about, okay, how you can declare as a bean. Our main motto today's session is how to declare a bean and how to get the object using IOC container. Now let me go back. Now see, now what we used, annotation config application context container I am using here. Even later on time you no need to create the object also, taken care by your framework only. That is slowly we will be discuss about the, at first we need to see the difficulties, and then later on time we will go simplify those difficulties here. Then why we need a spring boot, then you will realize that okay, everything taken care by your framework. So that's all today's session, guys. Any questions? We need to discuss a lot. Yes, application context is a interface. Now see, use control, click here. This is a interface. For this context as a multiple implementations here. See here, application context. Now here are able to see here. Now a lot of implementation classes are available here. Lot of implementation classes are available. Out of that, we are using one annotation, one class is called annotation. Somewhere you can able to see here. Reactive based applications is annotation config, reactive web server, and annotation config servlet. Lot of these are all implementation classes are available here. Yes, at the rate component annotation. This is a class level annotation. At the rate component is class level annotation, and here at the rate bean is method level annotation. Yes, you should not use. Now here you want to use at the rate bean. Now see here, bean cannot be resolved to a type. You should not use. You will get a compilation exception. This is a method level annotation. I know for the beginners completely who don't know Java background, for them for the starting it will be a, if you practice, you need to listen 1 or 2 times and you need to practice, then you can able to habituate this type of coding here. Okay, suppose here right now we are doing, but if you know the Spring Boot, you no need to do these all the things. They are just, you can simply ignore also. You no need to write even one line of code also. If when you started about the real-time API development, this is for the Spring core features internally how it is working. I'm explaining. This is the internal mechanisms how it is behaving. Clear? If you watch 1 or 2 times, definitely you can. Okay, then you need to practice more and more. If I spend 1 hour means at least you need to spend 2 hours to learn this concept. Okay, everything, every line of code I just I am typing in the classroom, you also have a try in this approach. Yes, here yes, component scanning means, suppose you may have 20 to 30 classes I have. So 20 to 30 classes, you no need to define like a dot class like this. You may have, suppose see IN, just I given different package name here, component scanning. Now, while running this application, run as a Spring application. Now it is trying to identify your beans under this package. See, no bean named account details available. Why? Because you are scanning all your bean classes at the rate component wherever you define all these classes, it is scanning under this package. In this package it is scanning the classes, but I don't have this package, so you are getting an exception, account details available. So that's why we am following as a base package com.java express. That's it. Now if you run again, it will identify your beans here at the rate g. See, you are getting the data here. Now what I'm trying to say, let me open the diagram paint. Okay, now here this is our whole application. Now assume that this is about your JVM. Okay, inside a JVM we have a IOC container. Now this is a, what is a, let me choose, this is called IOC or Spring context. Now here how many, now it is following one package, while container here what it is, or component scanning, what it will do, if you want to represent your classes, now this is one component, this is one component. Here you can create any number of components like this. Okay, now here this is suppose EMP as a reference. Now to retrieve this information, what annotation I applied here, just I applied here at the rate component. These annotations I applied here at the rate component I applied here. Now in the same structure here I created account details. This is one reference here. In this structure, you can create as a multiple beans will be available inside your IOC container level. Okay, now here the component scanning, what it will do, now here I mean to say, here what we can do here at the rate component scanning. Now, what is which package? These are all under com.java express package. In this package, it will be scanning. IOC container is launching a configuration class, right? That configuration class is verifying at the rate components. Under this package, at the rate component, these all the annotations are available like this: at the rate component, at the rate configuration, at the rate service. These are all like stereotype annotations. These are all the ways to manage your Spring Beans. But to scan this whole part, we are using component scanning. Else, if you overcome this part, suppose I don't want like this whole thing. Now you don't want this watch, then you need to define. How you need to define? At the rate bean, like account details, at the rate bean employee, like this you need to define for each and every class. Then it is very difficult task for the programmer to manage this kind of coding. This is Java based configuration. To overcome this issue, we are to simplify these beans creation. We can use at the rate component scanning, combination of component we are using here. Are you clear, Karen? Yes, thank you. So that's all today's session, guys. So Zoom link will change. We'll share new meeting details in your official Telegram group. I mean to say 22 group. Okay, whoever payment done, please join now. If you are not yet received, drop a email. Everyone knows, right? Now this is our email ID, guys. Java Express channel. If you have any queries, you can ping. You can drop a mail for this. Just attach your payment screenshot, and this is our number, guys. This is our admin number. You can drop a hi if you want to make any payment, if you are facing issues, and we can do that. Yes, tomorrow class time also, just we are going for 8 o'clock only. I will let you know the timings in your group, guys. Tomorrow also you can join the same time. Okay, for Friday class. This is a Friday. Tomorrow is a Friday, right? Now we can use the Friday. Saturday and Sunday, no class. Okay, just you can go through 3 videos one more time, and we can start freshly from Monday. Okay, clear? Okay, guys. Thank you for joining, and we'll catch up tomorrow session. Thank you, guys.